Welcome to lesson 36, where we are going to be unpacking chapter 14. In the previous lesson, which is lesson 35, we discussed household behavior. I highlighted the 8 roles that you can find when decisions are made at household level. You know, we have got influencers, we've got gatekeepers, we've got creators, we've got buyers, we've got deciders, we've got maintainers, and all those who are involved when a decision is taken at household level. We also spoke about the dynamic nature, the diverse nature of South African markets when looking at households, that we do not have what I would call a singular structure of apologies for that. There seem to be some network issues. I hope my screen is showing, and I hope you can also be able to hear me. So as I was saying, there are many types, there are many structures of family setup in South Africa. We still have the traditional one where you've got a husband, where you've got a wife, and then you've got kids. But nowadays there's a trend of single parenting, there's a trend of co-parenting, there's a trend of maintenance, there's a trend of baby mamas and baby daddies, So there's also a trend of what I would call um, so there's a trend what I would call a clan, where uncles, where aunties, where grannies are also involved in making decisions. So with chapter 4, we are going to look at organizational customers. You should be able to identify organizational customers, should be able to explain the importance of organizational buying behavior, identify the steps in the buying process, and identify and explain the buying situation. So where we work, decisions are also made at organizational level. So that's what we're going to be looking at in this lesson. So similar to consumer marketing, understanding the dynamics of customer buying behavior is crucial for identifying profitable market segments, locating buying influencers within these segments, and reaching out buyers efficiently and effectively with an offering that responds to their need. So who are organizational customers? I think we spoke, or if I did not discuss with the other class, we spoke about the business models that are out there. So we've got the B2C, we've got the B2B, we've got the G2G, and so forth. So here, when you're looking at organizational customers, in most cases, it will be a business-to-business setup. So this one consists of governments, institutions, hospitals, universities, because these institutions, they also consume products, you know. Think about during COVID-19, we had organizations buying sanitizers, organizations buying temperature devices and stuff like that. Boston as an institution, it is a customer. It uses computers for students to put in the library, the books and so forth. So in general, these organizations, they purchase in larger volume, or the transactions entails large monetary values. And please have a look at page 261 for an exhaustive description. So for example, getting computers or getting cars, it would be a fleet of cars. So what kind of the buying process do they get involved in? So you recognize the problem, you define the problem, you develop specifications for the solution, you search for suppliers, you obtain and analyze various proposals from suppliers, you select specific suppliers, you select order routines and review performance. You know, it can be the same thing that happens with tenders in government. So in government, they would recognize a problem, then they would the procurement department would release that task for tender. So that's how these things are done, and there are so many processes that are carried out by the procurement and finance department of many organizations. So the buying situations, there are three basic buying situations. So we've got a straight rebuy, we've got a modified rebuy, and we've got a new task. And all this is available in your textbook. You know, when I'm pre-recording lessons for you guys, it doesn't feel good because I'll be feeling like I'm spoon feeding you on everything. I always prefer when there are students in class and we can have an engagement on these things. We can engage, we can discuss, we can criticize this concept, we can apply them to real life situations. So as it stands at the moment, it becomes difficult to discuss this because there's only one way communication. As you can see on this screen, we should be having some activities, but we can't have them in class since there's no one in class at the moment. So as we meet, I'd like you to give examples of organizational customers. You must be able to discuss the organizational buying process, like what are the procedures that are involved in getting the stuff that needs to be used by organizations. You must also identify and discuss the three basic buying situations that I mentioned in the previous slide. So these are the things that we have covered so far. We looked at the decision-making process from an individual consumer point of view. We looked at decision-making process from a household point of view. And then we looked at decision-making process from an organizational point of view. Depending on the situation, depending on the context, you should be able to look at how individuals make decisions. You should be able to look at how households make decisions. You should be able to unpack and explain why organizations make decisions. Because at the end of the day, individuals do consume products, households do consume products, and organizations do consume lots of products. So these are the stuff that you must familiarize yourself. Feel free to engage. Feel free to discuss these on WhatsApp groups, on the core campus discussion forum. These platforms are there so that we can engage at academic level, so that we can be able to apply and relate with these concepts in our daily lives. That's it for tonight, and I hope you are going to have a good night. I should be able to upload these slides on Core Campus, but if there's anything that you want or you can't access these slides, please do let me know. Okay, thank you. Have a good night.